Hi everyone, welcome to Yogetic. My name is Esther and today I would like to do some yoga for flexibility. Now, a lot of people ask me for some stretches for flexibility, and yoga has so many stretches that have an effect on your flexibility that it would be good to kind of let me know what sort of part of your body you're mostly interested in, because then I can make it a bit more specific. But anyway, here's a bit of a general sequence you can do. You sit cross-legged. If you find it difficult to sit cross-legged with a straight back, then remember to sit on a block or blanket or anything. Heighten your hips enough anyway that your knees are sort of aligned with your hips or even lower. You place your hands on the knees, and on the in-breath you're going to flex your spine, bring the spine forward towards your belly and look up. And on the out-breath you're going to round your spine. You're increasing the flexibility in your spine with this exercise. And what I would just really recommend to do this, for a couple of minutes even, not to give up too quickly. I'm not going to do it for a couple of minutes now, but if you're motivated, I would, when you're doing it in your own time. So on the out breath, push the spine back. On the in breath, really bring the chest forward between the shoulders and feel that stretch in your spine both ways. Okay, and come back to center. Then you can place your hands on the outside of your right hip, your right hand with the fingers pointing away from you. As you inhale, you bring your left arm up. Now keep the spine straight, and you're just going to tip over to the right. So we're not collapsing to get any deeper. You just keep the spine straight, and you feel the stretch going along the left side of your body. Try and keep grounding through the left sit bone. And you can look up through underneath the left arm, and your elbow moves towards the floor. Whether it's on the floor is really not that important. It's about a proper stretch. And stay a few breaths. I would come up on the out breath using the stomach muscles. So you're supporting the back, bring the right arm up and do the same on the other side. Again, you keep your spine nice and straight to not just get that elbow down and sort of collapse the body forward or backward, but really with control. And open the right side. Keep grounding to the right sit bone. And again, coming back on the out breath. So you're using your abdominals. Then you can come and sit on your heels. And place your hands on your shoulders. And you're just going to gently twist the body from side to side, and you can also look over the shoulder that you're twisting to. And again, I would suggest doing this for a little while, for maybe a minute or two, just to really bring heat in the spine and also to create more flexibility between the vertebrae. Okay, just keep going with that one. Good. Then to work a little bit more on the hamstrings, which is always a big issue for a lot of people, is I would suggest lying on your back. You bring your feet together. You want to work with a belt probably. And then bring your knee into your chest and fold the belt around the right foot. I think it's always good to keep your left leg like an anchor. Keep the foot flexed and keep the top of the thigh moving down. It might mean you can't bring your leg in as far as you can, because you see what happens if you pull the leg in as far as you can, the other leg sort of loses control. So keep that leg nicely grounded and work within that range. At least you're doing it right. You're honoring your body a lot more with alignment. Breathe. You can push your heel up. It increases the stretch here. And even push your tailbone down a little bit. It increases the stretch. So these are the ones that are right at the back. And then you can also bring the right leg out to the side. Keep the left hip grounded when you do this. You can put your elbow on the floor for support. Stay there for a few breaths. Your foot is turned out. Your leg is turned out. Come back up. And then bring the leg over to the other side as well. And you feel the stretch more on the outside of your hip and the leg. And that really helps to increase flexibility. And this is a great stretch to do. You always also do it always on the other side. even before your practice, before your sun salutations. It will sort of make them easier for you. And push the heel up, push the tailbone down, turning the leg out. Go down to the left with control, keeping the right hip grounded. And back up, and as well to the right. So you're feeling the stretch more on the outside of your right hip. And back up. Great. Then we come up to standing. Don't come up the way I did. Roll on over onto your side. It's much better for the back. And then standing at the top of your mat. Inhale, bring the arms up. Lengthen up. Tailbone is pointing down. Chest is lifting. Look between your hands. Open the chest and come down. Exhaling. Placing your hands next to your feet if you can. Otherwise holding on to the back of the leg somewhere. Okay. Straightening the leg as much as possible. And just resting here, having a hamstring stretch. Inhale. Look up. And come into plank pose. Draw the inner thighs together. And on an out breath, knees, chest and chin to the floor. Scoop up into an upward facing dog. Press into your hands actively. Push the top of the toes into the floor. And bring the head back. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Then bring your right knee forward for a pigeon pose, which is a nice hip opener. Lengthen your left leg back. Your knee is out to the side. Your left foot is a bit in front of the left hip if you can. If impossible, just bring your right heel underneath the right sit bone. Now, you can just sort of slide back and you can see how I'm kind of hanging onto the right. Don't do that. You sort of draw the knees into to each other. So you create a little bit of support and stability in the hips. And there you can work with top of the thigh, top of the knee is pointing down. Stay with the breath. And you can also come forward and rest for a moment. Don't completely let go of your hips. Keep them stable. And we do the same to the other side. So you step back in down dog, other leg forward, slide your right leg back. Keep the knees drawing into the midline. And again, you can come down and rest your forehead on your arms. For a few breaths. And then you come out, and you can bring the soles of the feet together. Don't bring them all the way in. You do butterfly pose, which is a little bit different than Baddha Konasana. So you bring the feet a little bit away from the hips. Inhaling, again, sit on a block if you feel it's difficult to keep your back straight. And as you exhale, you can come into a very gentle forward bend. Some of you might just be able to fall asleep in this pose, and others might be up here. It's fine. You're just working with your range of movement. And you can keep this pose for quite a long time. Again, a couple of minutes. And that's the end for today. So get going with this. It sort of runs through most parts of your body. And if there's different parts of your body that I didn't get to, that you want to create more flexibility, let me know and I'll create another video for you. Okay, bye.